Did you know your banana peels and coffee grounds are actually garden gold? Let's turn that waste into powerful compost your plants will love. Composting is one of the most impactful steps you can take towards a zero-waste lifestyle. By transforming everyday kitchen scraps and yard waste into nutrient-rich soil, you reduce landfill waste, lower greenhouse gas emissions, and create a valuable resource for your garden. Building a DIY compost bin at home is easier than you might think, and it doesn't require a large budget or advanced carpentry skills. Let's explore how to build a simple compost bin, learn essential composting tips, and discover how this sustainable practice can benefit your household and the environment. Composting starts with a clear understanding of what it is: the natural process of recycling organic matter, such as food scraps and leaves, into a dark, earthy material called compost. This compost can then be used to enrich garden soil, improve plant health, and even reduce dependence on chemical fertilizers. Before you begin building your bin, it's helpful to know the basics of composting and what materials you'll need. Start by choosing a location for your compost bin. Look for a spot that's convenient for you to access, but also out of direct view if you'd prefer to keep it hidden. The ideal location offers partial shade and good drainage, protecting your compost from excessive heat or moisture. If you live in an apartment or have limited outdoor space, don't worry. There are compact options and indoor composting solutions as well. For a classic outdoor compost bin, gather your materials. At its simplest, a compost bin can be built from recycled pallets, wire mesh, wooden planks, or even large plastic storage containers. The goal is to create a structure that allows for airflow, retains moisture, and is easy to access for turning and harvesting your compost. Here's a popular method using wooden pallets. You'll need 4 wooden pallets of similar size, some sturdy wire or zip ties, and a hammer. Position 3 pallets upright to form the sides and back of your bin, standing them on their edges so the slats run vertically. Secure the corners together with wire or zip ties, ensuring the structure is stable. Attach the 4th pallet across the front as a removable gate, or simply leave the front open for easy access. If you'd like a more enclosed bin, add a 5th pallet on top as a lid, although leaving the bin open will allow rainwater to help moisten your compost. Alternatively, you can build a simple circular bin using wire mesh. Purchase a length of sturdy wire fencing, approximately 3 to 4 feet high and 10 feet long. Roll it into a cylinder and secure the ends with wire or zip ties. Place the cylinder on a level patch of ground and you've got a breathable, easy-to-maintain compost bin. If you prefer to use a large plastic storage container, select one with a tight-fitting lid. Drill several holes in the sides and bottom to permit airflow and drainage. Place a shallow tray or bricks underneath to catch excess liquid and line the bottom with a layer of twigs or shredded paper to boost aeration. Once your bin is built, it's time to start composting. Successful composting relies on the right balance between greens and browns, terms used to describe nitrogen-rich and carbon-rich materials. Greens include fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, tea bags, fresh grass clippings, and plant trimmings. Browns consist of dried leaves, straw, cardboard, paper, sawdust, and wood chips. Aim for a blend of roughly 2 parts browns to 1 part greens, layering them as you add new material to the bin. Begin your compost pile with a base layer of coarse browns, such as twigs or straw, to improve drainage and airflow. Add alternately layers of greens and browns, making sure to chop or shred larger pieces for faster decomposition. Each time you add fresh kitchen scraps, cover them with a layer of browns to reduce odors and deter pests. As your bin fills, the material will begin to break down, aided by helpful microorganisms, worms, and insects. Moisture is key to healthy compost. The pile should feel like a wrung-out sponge, damp but not soggy. If your compost is too dry, sprinkle it with water. If it's too wet, add more browns to soak up excess moisture. Good airflow is equally important, so turn the pile periodically with a garden fork or shovel. This mixes materials, introduces oxygen, and accelerates decomposition. Depending on your climate and how frequently you turn the pile, compost may be ready in as little as 2 months or as long as a year. What can you compost? Most food scraps are fair game, including fruit and vegetable peels, coffee grounds, eggshells, and tea leaves. You can also add garden waste, dead houseplants, shredded paper, cardboard, grass clippings, and dry leaves. Avoid meat, dairy, and oily foods, as these can attract pests and slow decomposition. Steer clear of pet waste, glossy paper, and diseased plants, as these can introduce harmful pathogens. As you build your compost bin and start filling it, be mindful of common troubleshooting tips. If your pile smells foul, it may be too wet or lack airflow. Add more dry browns and turn the pile to boost oxygen. If the pile isn't heating up or decomposing quickly, add more greens and mix thoroughly. If you notice pests, cover exposed food scraps with a layer of browns and ensure the bin is securely closed. For those interested in vermicomposting, using worms to break down organic material, you can adapt your compost bin or build a specialized worm bin. Red wiggler worms thrive in moist, dark environments and can process kitchen scraps far faster than traditional composting. Simply add bedding material, such as shredded newspaper, and a small handful of worms to your bin. Feed them regularly with fruit and vegetable scraps, avoiding citrus, onions, and spicy foods. In a few months, you'll harvest rich worm castings, perfect for houseplants and garden beds. Indoor composting is possible, even for apartment dwellers. Countertop compost bins with charcoal filters can store food scraps until you're ready to transfer them to a larger outdoor bin or a community compost program. Bokashi buckets, which use beneficial microbes to ferment kitchen waste, are another option for odor-free indoor composting. Once fermented, the material can be buried in garden soil or added to a traditional compost bin to finish breaking down. Composting offers many benefits beyond reducing landfill waste. Finished compost improves soil structure, helps retain moisture, and boosts plant growth. It's a natural fertilizer rich in essential nutrients and supports beneficial microbes that keep your garden healthy. By composting at home, you close the loop in your food system, turning leftovers and yard debris into resources instead of trash. For families, composting can be a fun and educational activity. Involve kids in collecting kitchen scraps, turning the pile, and observing the transformation from waste to soil. Share extra compost with neighbors, or start a community composting initiative to encourage others to adopt zero-waste habits. The more people participate, the greater the environmental impact. Seasonal composting tips can help you get the most from your bin. In spring and summer, collect grass clippings and fresh garden waste, balancing them with dry leaves and cardboard. In fall, gather and shred fallen leaves, which are abundant and excellent for composting. During winter, composting slows due to cold temperatures, but you can still add kitchen scraps and insulate your bin with straw or old carpet to retain warmth. If you're worried about pests like rodents, build your bin with a secure lid or line the bottom with hardware cloth. Bury food scraps under a layer of browns to discourage foraging animals. For odor control, avoid adding large amounts of citrus or onion peels and keep the pile balanced and well aerated. Using your finished compost is the final reward. Mature compost is dark, crumbly, and smells earthy. Harvest it by sifting through the bin, removing any undecomposed material for another round of composting. Spread compost over garden beds, mix it into potting soil, or top dress your lawn. Compost supports root development, helps plants resist disease, and conserves water by improving soil texture. For those serious about zero-waste living, composting is just one part of a broader lifestyle shift. Reduce food waste by meal planning and storing leftovers, recycle and reuse packaging, and choose products with minimal or compostable packaging. Support local farmers and participate in community gardens to foster a sustainable food system. If you're curious about expanding your composting system, consider building multiple bins for a batch approach. Fill one bin completely, then let it rest and decompose while you start adding scraps to a second bin. This rotation allows you to produce compost continuously and manage materials more efficiently. Some gardeners use tumbling composters, which are enclosed barrels that rotate easily. These speed up decomposition by providing excellent aeration and mixing. Although more expensive than a DIY bin, they're a good option for people with limited space or those who prefer a contained system. Throughout your composting journey, keep learning and experimenting. Attend local workshops, read gardening books, and connect with other zero-waste enthusiasts online. Share your successes and challenges, and inspire others to join you in reducing waste and building healthier soil. Composting is a simple act with far-reaching benefits. By building a DIY compost bin at home, you take control of your household waste, contribute to environmental sustainability, and create a valuable resource for your garden. Whether you use pallets, wire mesh, or a plastic bin, the principles remain the same. Balance your greens and browns, maintain moisture and airflow, and be patient as nature works its magic. As you watch your kitchen scraps and yard waste transform into rich, crumbly compost, you'll experience the satisfaction of closing the loop and making a positive difference. Your garden will thrive, landfill waste will shrink, and you'll be one step closer to a truly zero-waste lifestyle. Composting is accessible, rewarding, and essential for anyone committed to sustainability. Start today. Build your bin and embrace the transformative power of composting at home. Small changes create big impact. Composting is the first step. Hit subscribe and let's grow a greener world together.